Hey, what's going on, folks? It's me, Justin from CamModelAgency.com. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to promote your OnlyFans account and maximize your earnings. Some of the stuff is going to be pretty basic that everybody kind of knows, whatever. But towards the end, we're going to be talking about some real kind of pay-to-play investment type options that you have once you're serious and want to treat this more like a business and not just a couple $100 a month to get your nails done. Or whatever. So the truth is that consistently wins over trying to go viral. You hear the stories about so and so blowing up on TikTok, and overnight they're making $50,000 a month. And the reality is, for most of us, that's really not going to work out that way. So you're better off just figuring out a few platforms that you're going to promote on and consistently engaging on those platforms, whether it's social media, working with other creators, focusing on maximizing your tips and custom content from existing subscribers, whatever. It's much more beneficial overall to consistently do the things that work than try and finagle some kind of quick, like insane overnight success story type thing. So stay consistent. Additionally, going from any amount you're at now to an amount that's unfathomable, going from 5K a month to 50K, or going from $100 a month to 3,000, we'll say, that requires knowing your information, knowing your data. And in those cases, going from four figures to five to six, 4 to 6, whatever, that requires some sort of investment. All right. I'm not saying, you got to hire a manager, you got to go with some kind of agency or anything like that, but it does require you to, one, as far as data goes, keep track of where you're promoting and what's working for you. And two, you're probably going to see a lot more growth by investing in some way, and that may be in software that can help you gather data and analyze that kind of thing, or investment as far as uh, like maybe doing like blog inserts, which I'll talk about later, where somebody searches for hottest OnlyFans models, and there's an article at the top of the search results, paying to get to be the first person on that list. That's requires a kind of some level of upfront cost, but if you figure out the math behind the back end, you should be able to see that it's a pretty solid investment, and does equate to growth and higher paydays. Um, and of course, there are tools to help you with both of these, and I don't want to vouch for any of them. Off the top of my head, I know there's like Hootsuite that has like pretty decent analytics, and I think for the lowest tier, it's like $99 a month. But you can sync up basically all your social media accounts to see what posts are working and whatnot. And also you can plan out, you can schedule posts in advance. So that's where that consistency comes into play, where you can sit here and have it so it posts on your Instagram for the next 30 days on autopilot, and all you got to do is load it up. So that's that. Let's talk about some things now. So social media, of course, is like a no-brainer, duh. The problem that we see is that a lot of creators, they kind of focus on Instagram, and the not really problem, but unless you're sitting there and interacting with people on Instagram, if all you're doing is posting and you know praying, posting and praying, basically you're hoping that people come to your page. How do you expect to get discovered? The people that follow you on Instagram are aware of you, are you aware that you have an OnlyFans account, what have you. So sitting there and repeatedly interacting with these people that know about your page, they're probably either made a decision to subscribe or not. There's it would take a pretty healthy promotion, discount or something, to get them to subscribe to your page. So Instagram and both Twitter, if all you're doing is posting, stop. You got to be on those, interacting with people, doing all kinds of strategies to actually be involved with the community. Fuck, even if it's something as silly as going to other people's profiles and DMing the people that comment on their pictures or something like that, or their tweets. You got to be interacting on both those platforms. However, places like Reddit and TikTok, they are really good for discoverability. The posting on those communities and on those platforms, they are very good at exposing your content to people that have never heard of you or seen your stuff before. Reddit, there's tons and tons of communities on there where you can, depending on the type of content you create, you can post on there and instantly expose yourself to 10,000, 100,000 people that are interested in what you have to offer or potentially interested and will drive followers, subscribers, what have you. So, yeah, Instagram and Twitter are great. But unless you're actually interacting with people, putting the social in social media, you're kind of posting to the void. Not a lot of people are seeing your stuff. However, like places like Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, they do have some discoverability on there, a lot. So that's yeah, I'd prioritize those two over the first two on here if all you want to do is just post. Up next, you have like cross promotions and collaborations. So you hear a lot about like shout out for shout outs, right? The problem that we see time and time again, especially with new creators, is that they'll do a shout out for shout out with anybody. And that's not beneficial to either party. If you're a financial dominant, that's kind of you create findom. Why on earth would you do a share for share with a gay couple? It just doesn't make sense. The people that follow you, subscribe to you, they're not the same group of people. There might be some overlap, but odds are that Venn diagram has a very small sliver of let's say cross collab or pollination, if you will. So figure out who in your niche, in your sub niche, whatever, actually creates the same stuff that you create, looks like you. Why, some 4'11" petite creator and a 6'3" giant. It doesn't make sense as far as just shout out for shout out, not a collaboration. That might be different. Those two creators might be able to collaborate, and now they have some kind of create some fetish content where it is the giant and the the smaller person. I forget the name of the actual the content that is, but that is out there where it's the 4'11" girl and the 6'3" girl, and they create and whatever makes magic happen. You can do something like that. Doing like actual like photo shoots with another creator is fantastic. The only problem is, I guess, is that it kind of you have to be serious about your stuff. You have to be in an area where there are other creators. If you're, Jane Smith in the middle of Idaho, well, you're probably gonna have a hard time getting collaborations wherever you're at. You'll have to travel or something. So there's a lot of option and opportunity out there. You just got to kind of figure it out. Let's talk about discounts and promos. One of those things where, again, it's not something good to rely on because it may attract kind of those tire kicker type subs. You may be able to win by drawing in a bunch of inexpensive subscribers, but you end up winning on the back end with tips or custom content. That might work, but I wouldn't run one all the time. If anything, the higher price point you have, the more quality subscribers you'll attract. Somebody paying $5 or less than $5 for a month's worth of content, that's nothing. That's a nothing burger. They're not. They might just have a bunch, and then they just want to see the news feed or whatever with some creators. However, somebody paying 20, 30, they're like, okay, they really like your stuff. You might be offering some really niche fetish stuff. So this is kind of double-edged sword. Additionally, they have the 3-month, 6-month, 12-month discounts. Those are pretty good. I would recommend doing those over offering a 1 month for a heavy discount, because either one of two things will happen. I mean, there's more, it's not binary, but one of two things will happen. Either they buy for a year and then they're just, hey, you got your $60 or whatever it is today instead of, $5 over the course of the year. Or they look at it more like, hey, they're actually invested in your stuff. And now there's like, okay, I paid $60 for a year. I'm on I don't care if it costs 99 cents per message received and sent or whatever. I want to talk to this person. I want to like get the custom content, everything. So either way, it's kind of a win-win when somebody subscribes for a long time. They're either going to just give you a bunch of money up front, or they're going to like really start spending some money. So other options. So this is where, things go from, hey, I'm just kind of creating and seeing if this is a thing, to like, okay, no, this is getting serious, and I want to go from making $5,000 a month to $30,000 a month. It's all about investments and research. So, and I say research because typically you're not going to find good information about this online. And I mean, I don't mean like the methods or anything like that, but the actual sources. So like for promotional services, there are good accounts out there for shout outs that all they do is promote models or whatever. There are good accounts out there. There are many, 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 many more scam accounts. We'll call it what it is. They're scam accounts. They are, they might buy followers, and then they buy likes on posts to make it look like they're doing a lot, but they're really not. The problem is, again, when somebody finds one that works, they're probably going to keep it to themselves, because otherwise the platform will get saturated like crazy. So you really got to, I mean, it's basically like you're taking a gamble every time you do one, until you find those ones that are good, and then you just stick with those. So like just off the top of my head, doing something like or looking at something like Instagram pages, Twitter accounts, TikTok accounts, YouTube accounts that, promote models or whatever. You got to figure out which ones work yourself, and that kind of fucking sucks. Other thing are like blog inserts, kind of the same thing, where, if you do a Google search right now for hottest OnlyFans models, odds are the first couple of results will be, blog posts, articles, websites that, have like built-in or do like OnlyFans model searches. Well, typically to get on those lists, you have to pay, right? There might be, if it's a list of 20, maybe like the first 10, the bottom 10 will be, some of the top accounts that everybody knows about. But those first 10 will be creators that paid to be on that list. And same thing with like promotional, pages, Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts, whatever. You kind of got to do your research on what ones work. And then when you figure out which ones work, use those consistently. Like there's a math breakdown on the very next slide. I'll kind of talk about all that. But that's another great way of growing your account from, a few $100, a few $1,000 to like 5-6 figure a month accounts. There are a ton of other paid options, but again, the thing with all the paid options is that you're gonna have to do your own research and invest your own money initially. I think one of the things, as far as like agencies or management companies or managers, whatever, they might know what these services already are just from trial and error. So that's kind of one of the benefits if they are an actual good agency or manager. But again, like everything else, you gotta fucking do your own research, because if anybody knows a good agency or manager, they're kind of keeping it to themselves because they don't want to saturate that option, that opportunity, whatever. So anyway, that's kind of the fucking basic rundown of all this. Is you're gonna have to do your own research. And then mathematics. So let's just say hypothetically you find a blog post, or a website that offers blog post inserts that puts you number one on the list for $250 for an article, right? And you go, holy shit, that's kind of a lot of money, $250. But because you tried it before, you're like, all right, I'm gonna invest some money in this. You get 20 new subs every day that your page is up there. And keeping track of your information as far as your subscribers and how much they're tipping and how much custom content, whatever, for every new sub on average tips about $20 per month. And they stay subscribed for 6 months, and your subscription cost is $5. So you know that you get about $25 per month for every new sub, and over the course of their lifetime, what would that be? $150 per new sub. So $500 a month, $3,000 per subscriber. It's kind of like one of those no-brainer things where you go, okay, if I know that these numbers check out, you're going to consistently, pay the $250 or whatever it is per month or per day to get on top of those lists. And then if it goes up to $300, you're like, okay, well, I know that I still am making more money. Data analysis, that's where that comes into play. Doing the numbers, knowing what works, knowing what your upper threshold is that you can spend and still make money. And that's business 101. Make more revenue than your expenses and you make profit. It's all right. Thanks for watching. I'm not even going to pitch the agency or anything like that. However, we do offer some products that you can purchase if you want to load up your Instagram or Twitter account or something like that. We do have like these caption packs that are like, I think they're like 130 like captions that you can just copy and paste into whatever service. You have to attach your image, whatever, or if you're like Twitter, you can just copy and paste them right in your Twitter, load them up, and you got a month or 2 months worth of content that's just boom promoting for you. Doom, doom, doom. You can use them on Instagram. You can use them on Reddit. You can use them for all kinds of things. And you can go find those on subdomai.com. And you can use the coupon code until the end for 20% off. So that's what we got. Peace.